Welcome back to Evony with Genghis on server 68. What you're looking at here is a live attack in our SVS. So I was lucky enough, I was online and I saw a guy in Neff, Whistling Pig, unbubbled and troops heading to his city. And I was like, whoa, that doesn't happen. Like, people don't just sit unbubbled in this day and age in SVS. So I just followed the lines and almost caught the live hit. But I ended up getting the report because thankfully Neff posts their reports in world chat so the rest of the server can learn and dig through the reports, and we will take a look at these. So this is in world chat. Fun Bobby got hit here. He lost 26 million. He was up against almost a 20 million rally from Neff. We'll look at the buffs here quickly and then get into the troops. So almost a 1600%. His horse HP was 836, so and 810 defense. So that will play an important role in looking at what we have here. You could see Mags in the rally, Fun Bobby's troops. We'll look at those last so we can see what the damage was. But you'll see here, we'll go through all the different team members and see what they put in here. We'll see Warzilla's troops that he sent. Always good to learn from a 6-year veteran of the game. I know lots of people on the server do like to see what he's up to all the time. Entertaining guy down there from Australia, and definitely plays a big role in helping the server win SVS, which is kind of becoming routine now. We had a little funk for a while. We started out hot after the merge, and here's Fun Bobby. And you could look, every single horse in this keep is dead. 4.5 million 14s, 3 million 2 million of the 13s and 12s, all the way down. Look at this. Every single horse died. So this is what this rally set out to do, and it achieved it. And that's obviously why Neff took almost every spot in the top 10. Not just this. We'll show a bunch more that are in world chat, and we'll go over them. It's nice of them to share so everybody can learn a little, especially right now. Okay, so we got some live comments here. I just want to say thanks for all the people who reached out to me to congratulate me on my gigantic playoff win. Not sure what he won, but he did get a free keep. I think that's how he is K36 or there was a lot of trash talk going on after SVS as to, not sure why really, not sure if it was fun-natured or actually a little bit of seriousness to it or not. But let's look at these. So this is an attack on Wolf. This is one of the better players on the server we were playing. So you could see we played server 36, and you could see that in the report. So Neff, one thing that I'll give them credit for, so this is on the other server. So lots of the attacks and rallies that you see are only on the home server. So I showed you a video there of Neff attacking on the home server, and this one is on the enemy server, and that's not easy to organize. Let's just see how many people went over there. 9 people with big boy pants. Got Warzilla in there again. So let's see what he has in the rally. This is a range rally. Okay. It's typical troops to send out. Looks like New might have been one of the last players in because he doesn't get the layers in there, and that's why he's probably listed there at the end. Let's get Phoebe. She was flirting with me a little bit in world chat there. We'll have to show that at the end. She knows what's up in terms of the SVS points. We'll take a look at that. And here we go. She's got a good rally in there as well. Miken, this is one of the Neff originals from server 136. So one of the things here that's really impressive is Neff, it's a 2-year-old alliance going up against 5- and 6-year alliances and keeps. So very impressive. So let's look at what they sent here. And they sent 3 million troops from the rally setter and another 16.5, so 19.5 million troops up against Wolf and his 173 million strong. They took 13 million troops off of him almost. And wow, he has 785,000 traps. And he's running Robert the Bruce from 1775, something like that. Let's look at the buffs. So Neff sends out a 1434 Archer rally. And on defense, just look at the 1000s across the board here. Ground attack defense, 1000, almost 1100. Range attack, almost 1200. Mount attack, over 1000. Mount HP, 935. Siege attack, 1238. Siege defense and HP, very high. And the debuffs, obviously this guy could debuff 717, so that was the entire 50%. And let's look at the defender. What did he lose here? So it's an Archer rally. He lost every 14 horse. But notice, so this guy had really, really strong buffs, all the 1000s. So the other things that we've seen, other reports that we've seen since the update haven't had good buffs like this. So everyone's been really scared, thinking like, oh my God, a 10 billion keep just got wrecked. But they didn't always have buffs like this guy. So this in the previous reports, people were losing all their ground, all their archers, all their horses. So it's nice to see what actually could happen if you have a well-built keep. So all his 14 ground and range survive. His horse all die. His 13 horse all die. 12 horse. He lost some 12 siege as well. Ground. And looks like the rest of the horse survive. So 9 horse survive, 10 horse survive, 11 horse survive. So what you see here is he had enough horses and enough HP on them that the horses lived long enough to let the rest of the troops do the killing and survive. But little did the wolf know, the piggy came knocking twice. And let's look at that. So just going to look through this a little bit more and just go down, make sure we're seeing everything. Looks like siege, we're doing a lot of the defending, a lot of the killing. Let's look up top, see where the bigger numbers are. Got some ground killing, obviously, because it is archers coming in. And I'm just going to look at the attacking people just a little bit here. I just want to make sure that, okay, this is what I was looking for. Some people did send siege. So I must have missed that when I first looked at Mikan. So Mikan did send some siege. So this was a mixed rally a little bit. Here were some ground troops being sent. Or sorry, no, I read that wrong. This is range. Okay, so it was all range with 1 siege. And now let's back out. And they hit him twice. So Neff, like, not many alliances can do this. So look at the time here. 1636.04. And let's look at the next one. 1636.08. So they landed 2 within 4 seconds. That's on a very, very impressive. So let's look at it again. So as a reminder, let's look at the first one. Wolf started out at 6.9 on D, and he went down to 1. And now he's at 5.9 and lost another 800 million power. Neff only lost 620 on this one, and on the first one, Neff lost about 1.1. So overall, they come out in a tie, but very impressive what Neff was able to do here. And looks like this one they sent siege. So first one they did send an archer general just to double check. So next one they landed siege on him. Let's see what it looks like. 1225 incoming siege. Exact same defensive buffs as all his sub-troops survived. So he gets the exact same. Easily debuffs the incoming siege attack. as anybody can. That's just nothing you can really do against that. And let's look what happens. So siege was sent, and it was majority 11. Majority 11. 11. Obviously, Warzilla also going to be sending some 11s. Yeah, so total siege rally. Now I'm curious to see what they would do, because let's look at his buffs again. And this guy has massive siege buffs. 869 defense, 783 HP. So let's see how the battle goes. Defender, no reinforcements. This guy had his big boy pants on and just said, I'll take it. And let's see. So siege usually attacks siege and range. So they took out some of the range at the 14 level. They took out 1.5 out of 5 million 14 siege. They took out all of his 12 siege. 13 siege did not get affected at all. So all the 12s are gone. All the 11s are dead. All the 10s are dead. The 9s, okay, so that's kind of where it stops. And did some damage to the 8s there. And that's pretty much most of the damage. The 4s died, the 3s. Okay, so they took it out. So probably if they had time to land another one, some more damage would have happened. Now I'm curious just to look at traps. I've heard some stories of traps being very effective now, and it does look like traps did a lot here. Even killing, like if you look at the Abbaduses, there wasn't many horses coming in those rallies, and they took them out. So looking at the siege, the fire arrows, they are doing some good damage here, killing some. Unfortunately, when you have 20 million siege coming at you, you're 400, 500. Actually, the guy has 700,000 traps. Can't kill them all. But let's take a look at our SvS scores here. Let's see who ended up winning. We won almost 10 billion to 8.5 billion. You can see Neff carrying us there. Neff with almost all the top 10 spots, other than Dirk there. Or Mamba, Hebrew Hammer, whatever name he's obviously going by the Hebrew Hammer right now, but he has had multiple names, but everyone knows who he is. Definitely one of the top people. So let's look at the negatives. You can see lots of negatives, but there's going to be negatives when people are scoring that many points. If we scored 10 billion points, I'd expect, obviously they got 8 billion, so there's going to be 8 billion negatives, but bottom line is we ended up winning there. Have to go very far down to find my negatives. 2.5 million negative. And didn't do that much damage there, but 73 million. So I think someone said I was about 3,500% positive or something. Not sure if that's a record. And yes, I am joking. I end up finding one guy who dropped bubble on him and his alts, and I went over there and crushed them. But looking through the scores here, Lorwyn right here in 12th place. Former teammate of mine. This guy always crushes it in SVS. Got to give props to him. 196. Like to see what he has for negatives. I bet it might compete with the record I just broke of percentages, or claimed to have broke. Bet I'm going to have to go pretty low to find him. He usually has very, very positive SVSs, and he's very active. He actually doesn't really rally on the weekend. Whereas me, I love SVS for the rallies. There he is. It's only 7.5 million negatives in 47th place at the bottom. So good job to him. That is very impressive. Oh, little Remy making an appearance. This is a very old teammate of mine in server 136. Good to see her on the board. Unfortunately, it is the wrong board, but that is how our SVS went. And Just a little reminder here for anyone on newer servers, when you do win, you get chests around the temples, and there's gems and speed ups, lots of good stuff. Better than the chests you get for Garudas or Vikings, Chiefs, things like that. You actually get really nice stuff in here, particularly the gems if you want those. Just wanted to show what some of the rallies are looking like, the reports, especially when you get someone with really good buffs on the defensive side. Haven't seen that in any of the reports. I've seen lots of people getting smashed, like 3 billion, 4 billion to 0, but the buffs on the defensive side usually aren't that great. It's kind of people who have been safe, felt secure for the last 3-4 years, and weren't aware of how the battle mechanics and battle buffs have changed. But now, actually, to see a very quality keep get hit and get hit back to back, thought that was something some people might want to see out there. So this is Genghis Server 68. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.